What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So of course, when you own equipment and stuff, you're always going to have maintenance and mechanical issues. It's just the nature of the beast. So I researched YouTube like crazy trying to resolve this issue, and I really couldn't find a video that led me into any direction that made me feel confident that I could fix it. So I wanted to put this out there for anyone that had a New Holland 232 track skid steer and anyone that has equipment. So it's something to keep in mind. Sometimes you're just better off walking away and letting things calm down and then come back with a clear mind, and you might be able to just, conclude your task without paying someone several $100s. Before we dive into that track skid steer issue, here's a little sneak peek of what's coming. Check this out. This is a diamond mulcher, the Pro X2. This is new, out from their development team. They're trying to get them out on the internet for people to see them. This is still waiting to be paired from Stevenson Equipment, so that was part of the deal. They delivered this, and then this is our new Yanmar TL100. It's all high flow. This unit is capable of, the drum speeds, 2,500 RPMs. It's gonna be a really cool video, guys. So if it's something you're into, make sure you hit that bell notification. It's probably gonna be coming out here in a couple weeks. So I was using this 232 New Holland track skid steer out doing property maintenance and stuff, and no high temperature alarms went off or anything, but I always watch the gauges. This is something I was taught at a very young age. Keep an eye on the gauges. So I noticed that only the hydraulic temperature was creeping up. So I thought, okay, maybe the radiator needs cleaned out. So I wasn't nervous yet, but whenever I got back to the barn and I noticed that the radiator wasn't much dirtier than that. So I got a little concerned because now I know that it's something causing friction maybe or whatever. So I also changed the hydraulic filter, and then I made sure that it had adequate amount of fluid in there, because it's been 90-some degrees here running hydraulic equipment, and that kind of temperature, things run hot. So that still did not solve my problem. So now this is where I say sometimes you just got to step back, because I was ready to load this up on a trailer and take it to the dealership, and then like a light bulb, it went off. I said, I'm going to go out and check this right whenever it first starts, and I'm going to show you what I found. So when I got in it and it was completely cold out, you could see the hydraulic gauge is pegged. So that's where I was like, okay, well, this machine's completely stone cold, so it obviously has to be an electrical problem. So that's where there is not a lot on the web about this particular machine. I looked everywhere asking where the hydraulic temperature sensors were, and there was a lot of false information. Everybody said it was on the hydraulic reservoir on the bottom of it, which would make sense. So I tore this whole back of this thing off looking for it. I even called the dealer, and I don't know if they were just trying to not give me that much information because they want me to bring it in. I kind of got that vibe, so I was a little bit irritated about that, but I'll show you a few things I did, and then I'll show you where exactly I found this sensor. And I just got one in the mail. Hopefully that's it. So there's a couple sensors. There's one right back in here. I took that off and it didn't resolve the issue. So all down through the bottom there, I checked around for a sensor. So this right here, I flipped the cab open, and there's a temperature sensor right on the side of the pump. This is how I determined it was this sensor. Take this wire off, and then we'll go back in here and turn the key on. And now you can see the temperature on the hydraulics on the left column there is completely down at 0, where it should be, because this machine's cold. That gave me a pretty good indication of that's what it probably is. Fingers crossed, we're gonna dive into it right now. It's still about 80-some degrees in here. You could see I'm starting to sweat up a little bit. It's a lot better than working outside in the sun. We obviously don't have air conditioning in the barn here. But I'm going to get some tools, we're going to dive into this, and fingers crossed this is what it is. So there's a 9/16 socket. Got it broke loose here, and we're going to unscrew it out of there. Not sure how much oil is going to come out. Shouldn't be that much. because this is on a low pressure return side. There's a good bit coming out. So we're gonna get some rags and try to switch this out as fast as possible. All right, guys, we got that all in there, and I just wanted to point out real quick, if you're gonna do something like this, make sure you have all your safety mechanisms engaged and stuff like that, especially working on hydraulics, because if you break the wrong nut, take something apart, you may be releasing something to drop on you. So it's always better to be safe than sorry. But it was a 3/8 nut down there on that stud. So everything went back in. I wasn't able to film it because I needed both sets of hands here. But do yourself a favor also, if you're in here, spend about 5-10 minutes with a flat tip screwdriver and tightening up all these bands. You can see there's bands here, here. I found one underneath there. It actually was slobbering a little bit, and it was so loose I could spin it by just with my fingers. So that's trying to prevent stuff in the future if we're having a major blowout. So what we're gonna do is go back in here, and I'm pretty confident this worked. So everything's hooked up, and you can see the left column's down at 0. So I'm gonna put this thing all back together. If you've never seen how this happens here, there's a release nut, that red column there. You pop that out, everything will fold back here. We'll throw this up on a time lapse. I'll collapse this, I'll put this back together, and then we'll take a little road test here and make sure that that temperature gauge actually increases as well. All right, so it's been running for about 5-10 minutes. Got it all buttoned up here. We're gonna pull it off these blocks, take it out there and run it around and see what kind of temperatures we can get this to rise here, make sure the sensor is actually working as well. So we ran it around a good bit there, and you could see it's up 3 bars. It was saying 141 degrees, so glad that's registering now. I'm really happy how this all turned out. It was really starting to look bad, and I kind of like let myself starting to go in a negative direction. So that's why you just got to walk away and just think about what's going on. I really come around full circle. Things started like popping out to me whenever I did the whole temperature check and whatnot. So I'm really glad that I was able to figure it out myself, because if it would have been $500-600 to get that fixed, that's $500 or $600 I just pretty much paid myself, because now I don't have to pay someone to fix it. And if you guys remember that New Holland tractor video, it was the same thing. It started out to be a simple oil change and just snowballed. I'll leave that link down in the description. New Holland stuff is amazing until it's not. I've had a bunch of New Holland equipment. I really like the way it works and how it feels, but some of their ingenuity could definitely do better. And don't forget, if you're into this kind of stuff here, we got that Diamond mulcher. It's new to Diamond. They just come out with it this year. We're gonna link it up here to this TL100 EMR track skid steer, and it's gonna be a pretty cool video. I've never ran one of those. So I'm waiting on Stevenson equipment to get this thing all paired up, and then we'll get some videos out on that in about a couple weeks. So like always, we appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.